last year. At the moment, the City of New Orleans has devoted its entire Department of Public Works maintenance staff to preparing for this storm. We have 6 vac trucks right now in the streets working, clearing storm drains that we've already had reported to us or ones that we know are filled up. We have 5 dump trucks doing the same. Parks and Parkways is responding to any calls about trees that could be in the way. If residents do see a storm drain or catch basin that they're concerned about, please report that to 311, and we will do all we can to respond to it ahead of this storm. But we kind of know the ones that we're most sensitive to. If you see a tree that's in the way of a line or something like that, that's a pretty short-term need in the ahead of this storm, please call 311, report that, and our Parks and Parkways forestry team will be out there. Before these rains occur, let's just say it's tomorrow, as it relates to sanitation. Residents should remove all carts and trash bins from the curb and secure them on their private property to avoid the loss of the containers during any street flooding or debris clogging storm drains. Residents are reminded that carts and bins should always be removed from public rights-of-way after each collection. We haven't suspended traffic service just yet. We'll get some information out on NOLA Ready should we decide to do that. But at this moment, just make sure that you're putting your cans out just for the collection to occur. Beginning at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, we are suspending all parking enforcement indefinitely. That could last till a day, that could last till the end of the day Thursday, we don't know. So that means beginning at 9 a.m. tomorrow, if folks feel comfortable, they're allowed to park on the neutral grounds, they can park on the sidewalks, not on the sidewalks, excuse me, but they can park without worrying about tickets impacting them. If you do decide to park on a neutral ground, drive very, very slowly. We have trees, we have grass. Be very conscious of what you're driving on. You're driving on linear parkways that a lot of people use every single day when they're walking and jogging and going throughout our city. Additionally, all of our construction projects, we have 76 open job sites throughout the city that are surface and subsurface work, have been notified. All those contractors have been notified. All the construction sites for vertical construction, whether that's a police station, a fire station, et cetera, have been notified, and the Department of Property Management is doing its normal protocols to protect city assets as well. I'll stick around for questions. I'm going to turn it over to Ron Spooner.
Thank you, Ramsey. Good afternoon. My name is Ron Spooner. I'm the Interim General Superintendent of the Sewage and Water Board of New Orleans. So just want to let you know, the Sewage and Water Board, we're closely monitoring the potential for severe weather this week. And we're actively preparing all of our facilities in relation to this event. As we stated last week, we're in a fragile state regarding power as we operate within our system. While we have enough power to power our pumps, we do not have the backup capacity, our redundant system, in the event we do lose a power source. Where we stand right now is for our power. We have turbine number 1. Our steam turbine number 1 is online. Turbine number 6 is available, and all 6 electromotive devices, or what we call our DMDs, are available for use. We will rely heavily on the EMDs, as they are now our frontline source of power to operate our drainage system. They are extremely noisy, no doubt about it, and we sincerely apologize to the neighbors around that area because of the noise, but it is something that we have to do. Relative to our drainage pumping systems, our drainage pumps within our pumping system, we have 96 of 99 of our medium to large pumps that are available. In the anticipation of the winds that's planning to come through tomorrow, our Carrollton water plant, we will switch over to our own power, 60 hertz T6. So that is something that we would normally do when we have high wind gusts. So per the National Weather Service 5 a.m. brief, they're expecting some high wind gusts within some of the thunderstorms. We will remain in close coordination with Entergy. So I did speak with the Entergy rep this morning relative to their procedures that they're going through for this wind event. I'd like to emphasize this is not something for our residents to panic. We are just being we are being cautious, as we say. We're asking the residents to be alert to the weather and avoid driving in the rain. One of the main items is never drive through a flooded area, flooded water, or a flooded overpass. There's many commercials that's been on, don't drown, please turn around. So I would like to repeat that again. Don't drown, please turn around. For updates, you can follow us at S&WB New Orleans or at NOLA Ready on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And I'll turn it back Mr. Green, if you have any questions.
Questions, if you, we'll take questions.
Ron, just to be clear, when you switch on to your own power, you switch on before you lose power from Entergy, just as a precaution, or would you switch on to your own power after there's an Entergy interruption?
No, what we're doing now is, as a precaution, we are switching on to our own power only relative to the Carrollton water plant late this afternoon. That's in anticipation of the high winds that may come through when these thunderstorms do pass through. So we will switch on late this afternoon.
The issue, how quickly can you all act? There's been problems in the past with pump stations going down or issues. How quickly can or will you all respond to situations like that tomorrow morning?
I would say if our pump stations go down, we do have staff available to diagnose whatever problems that are available associated with those pump stations.
Are they all being manned by human operators, or are some of them unmanned?
All of our major pumping stations are manned pump stations. We do have unmanned pumping stations. Many of our drainage underpass stations are unmanned, but all of our major pumping stations will be manned.
WGNO.
Last week you guys mentioned those 2 turbines that were putting you guys in a fragile state. When will they be fixed? When will this problem be alleviated in the future? What's being done to maybe solve this problem?
Yes, the 2 turbines you're referring to are turbine 4, which is one of our other steam turbine generators, as well as turbine 5, which is our combustion turbine generator. Turbine 4 is scheduled to be tested and commissioned within that first week of May, and turbine 5 will also be tested and commissioned by the second week of June. So by mid-June, we will have that redundancy back into the system, those 2 turbines.
WWL.
Ron, if you can, you talked about it's a kind of a fragile condition right now with the turbines down, the EMDs. I know it's complicated, I know, but to help the public understand just why it is so fragile. There is some backup, but there's not a ton.
Yeah, and it's what we're saying is that you can lose one source now, and that causes us issues. That's hence the reasoning, answering the question T4 and T5. T5 is that backup. It's sort of like a backup system. If something goes down, then we can switch on to that. So that's something that we don't have at this point in time, but by May and mid-June, that backup will be available, especially coming into hurricane season.
Ron, just to be clear, does Sewage and Water Board have any of its own back trucks out trying to clear drains, or is that, do you rely on the city for that?
We rely on the city, and if the city does need whatever assistance with the vac trucks, we're there to assist them in whatever way we can.
The advocate.
So a couple quick questions. Can you go through which 3 pumps are down?
Could you?
Which 3 pumps? The pumps that are not working?
Oh, okay. The 3 pumps, let me make sure I have my notes. The large pumps now.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me get that. The pumps that we have down, or there's 1 pump at DPS 6. There's a medium pump at DPS Grant, which is in New Orleans East off of Almanaster. And then the last large pump, medium to large pump, is at DPS 14, which is in New Orleans East.
Do you have the CFS on those?
Okay.
And more substantively, what's the plan for using the frequency converters for Entergy Tower in the middle of the storm? Are those viable in terms of a backup source?
Those frequency converters are viable right now. So we do rely on the frequency converters from Entergy from 3 of our facilities within the area.
Anyone else? All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Ron, how do you spell your last name, Ron? I'm sorry.
Spoon with an E. Absolutely. I am the interim general superintendent.
I know that, but I can't remember.
Yeah, make sure you put in.
Out here trying to get.
Find out.